Welcome back to Full Time Movie Fans. We've got a special episode. I'm your host. Just call me Jarvis from now on. It's Jarvis. Most people call me Jarvis. And this is my co-host, Michael. Say hello. There you go. This is Michael. He's actually going to be, he's not going to say anything today. Everything that he wants to express, he's going to express through facial expressions, movements, body language. So that's going to be a special, it's our special episode today. He's going to be my silent host. No, he's got a lot to say. I think ASMR. Or is that AM? Is that right?
Yeah, ASMR.
ASMR. Listen to my voice. This was a movie. I think what was our last episode? I can't even remember. I feel like it was a little while ago.
Yeah, a lot's happened.
Oh, because it was
There's 12 Angry Men.
yes. The connection is a number in the title.
This is a number, yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, after 12 Angry Men, which was your recommendation, which was a fantastic movie. Again, go watch it. You know, look, I'm going to say this again, but just watch all the movies that are in the title first before you come over here, because we want you to enjoy them. That's what movies are made for.
Yeah.
I know some people are lazy, they don't want to watch it. Like, the only time I do this where I just will watch someone's review or breakdown is if I don't really want to watch a movie. I heard it was bad, and I was kind of want to get an idea of it, but I don't really want to watch it. This is not one of those movies. This is one of those movies you do want to watch. You want to spend some time in the evening, maybe, turn the lights down low, rent the movie, pop yourself a bag of popcorn, enjoy with a friend or a loved one. I think it's a good movie.
I did put it on and asked my girlfriend to come watch it with me.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, I'm not interested. And it's really not catching me. And I was like, well, we are 2 minutes in. And then by the end of it, she was like sitting down laughing. She's like, wow, I really love true crime. This is really silly. And I was like, okay.
Yeah,
very
it's
good. Yeah.
So first off, this movie, give us some facts on it, because this movie was written by somebody that you know who's done some really good movies.
Yeah, here's some theater nerd talk. This is a movie written and directed by Martin McDonagh. Martin McDonagh is an Irish playwright, originally most famous for The Cripple of Inishmaan and The Pillow Man. Both sound very silly. And the culture with plays is very different from the culture with movies. I think I've talked about this while we
Please go ahead again.
But yeah, the culture with plays is when the writer writes something, it's like their word is gospel. You have to do what they say.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And with movies, it's, hey, this guy wrote this. Anyways, so we got all these other people that you should care about. And Martin McDonagh has historically been like, no, I made this.
Yeah.
And movie people will recognize him because he's the writer and director for I don't know if he directed. Let me look. Yeah. He's the writer director for 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri.
Fantastic movie. Didn't it win some awards too, right?
It did. Yeah, it was at the Oscars. It won some stuff. Most recently, The Banshees of Inisherin.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I have not seen that.
Also has Colin Farrell in it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that one was nominated for a lot of stuff this year, but unfortunately it was going up against Everything Everywhere All at Once, which you and I absolutely loved.
Sorry, Martin McDonagh. Sorry.
Dude, I know. I have to watch that because I heard it was amazing movie.
Yeah.
And I love Colin Farrell too. I think he's great.
Yeah. So I know about Martin McDonagh because my high school theater director, they do a tournament every year for all of the high schools. They do a 40-minute play. It's called One Act. And the only time in recent history that my director had ever gotten to state was when he did The Cripple of Inishmaan. So he loves Martin McDonagh. And his other favorite play of all time is The Pillow Man, but The Pillow Man is not a very school-appropriate play. It's about murdering kids.
Oh yeah, I can see how that. I can see how that wouldn't fly at most schools. That's definitely a sensitive subject here in America.
Very, very sensitive.
I don't know if we have any viewers outside of America, but actually, we won't get into that. It's just definitely not okay to kill kids. So when I sat down to watch Seven Psychopaths, I always bring it up on IMDb so I can look at some stuff.
all the time, and I was like, oh, it's Martin McDonagh. This makes all the sense in the world now.
Well, yeah, because I told you I was like, and funny enough, and I get it. At this point, I know the world is just like, who's this Clint guy? I don't think he's a real person.
Yeah.
But this is a movie that Clint recommended to me.
Yes.
And I watched. I was like, wow, that was actually really good. And so when I recommended it to you, you're like, oh, I haven't seen that. So when you said, oh, I know this guy, the director and writer, and I was like, oh, great. Like, and then you mentioned the, 3 Billboards, and I was like, oh, of course.
Yeah.
I've seen
It makes so much sense.
That's great. So
Yeah.
like I said, so like I'm a movie fan enough to know that I watch a lot of movies, but it's just, and I'm the same with music. Like I know a lot of music, and it's pretty, like I can get to and jam with a lot of different genres.
Yeah.
I just don't know the facts about them. I don't know who wrote. I don't know who sings it. But like I've heard that. I've seen it.
Yeah. The
I know the
Purple
words.
Rain. Yeah.
And this is the same
Love
with movies.
Purple Rain.
So as a full time movie fan, like I love movies like in that way. And then you and Clint know more of like the directors and the writers, and you're more into
Yes.
that kind of stuff. So
Yes.
I'm a little bit more casual in that respect. But knowing that he wrote 3 Billboards as well, to me that makes sense. So like, oh, that's why it's a good movie. And I mean the cast is fantastic as well.
Oh yeah.
I mean, star-studded. I mean, there are movies that have more stars than bigger stars, but I mean, you've got Christopher Walken, you've got Colin Farrell, you've got Sam Rockwell, dude, a lot of other people too. Who else is in this thing?
I was looking at other stuff. Colin Farrell, Woody Harrelson, Samuel
Woody Harrelson.
Rockwell, Christopher Walken, and a bunch of other people here and there that just kind of pop in and out.
Yeah, so it.
Gabroy Sidibe,
There you go. You know our boy Gabroy.
a girl, Gabroy.
Yeah, I said that's
She's
all
Charisse.
my boys are girls.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To
Tom
all the-
Waits.
to all the female bros out there.
Yeah, Tom Waits was in there. Any Bonnie fans? That's the dog.
Oh,
Any
well,
fans of Bonnie?
I mean, I'm a fan of dogs, so
Yeah. You can always tell when a writer like really takes care of their scripts too, because the log lines are like really solid. Do you know what a log line is?
no.
So a log line is
Full-time
an
fans who
industry term
Okay.
for what most people call the elevator pitch. Right? It's a 1 to 2 sentence summary of what the plot is about.
Yeah.
You ready? You ready for like how solid this log line is?
Let's do it.
A struggling screenwriter inadvertently becomes entangled in the Los Angeles criminal underworld after his oddball friends kidnap a gangster's beloved Shih Tzu.
Yeah, that's pretty.
That's the whole movie.
But see, yeah, and that's, dude. See, here's the thing. I think a lot of great movies. So you have to have a great idea, and then you have to see it through.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people start with a great idea, but then it just goes wild and crazy, and you're just like, what's that one meme? What happened to the original plot of the movie? Like
Yeah.
it's like it just goes off into madness. You know what I mean? Which is what I love about Everything Everywhere All at Once is that it's crazy and there's madness everywhere, but
Yeah.
there's still the through line and the plot and the story is still so focused. And so I yeah, dude, that makes total sense.
Yeah.
I mean, so basically, guys, hopefully, like I said, you've watched the movie. But I mean, it starts with 2 guys who I assume were hired to kill somebody.
Probably.
And then one of our main characters, unbeknownst to us in the beginning, shows up, kills these 2 guys that were going to kill somebody, and then leaves
Leaves a calling card.
Jack of Diamonds,
Jack of Diamonds.
and goes off. And then we see this character a few different times throughout the movie. And then it just goes into, what's his name? The main character.
Marty.
Marty goes into his life, and he's kind of...
The self-insert character.
Yeah, the ideas that you see of most writers, whether it's books or whatever, the writer's life, that we're just kind of waking up, 10:30 a.m. and they're just a little bit, disheveled and unorganized, and what's it called? Writer's blocked, and they just don't know what to do. And you can see that his love interest is getting tired of his BS and stuff. So But yeah, and then we're introduced to, I guess, his friend circle, and it turns out that he's surrounded by not crazy people, but like I'll say one crazy person, and the other ones are people that have crazy stories.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I don't think that
Well,
Christopher Walken's character is crazy.
I don't know. Christopher Walken's character was extremely calm for things that have happened to him.
Well, I mean, he was a priest or something. Is that what he was?
A Quaker.
Quaker. Yeah. So I don't know. It kind of fits. But I mean, the truth is that like the people around him have crazy stories. Obviously, this is revealed later on. So his Marty's friend, played by Sam Rockwell's character, who's just adamant, like, let me help you with this.
Billy.
Let me help you with this script that you're writing. Let me help you with it.
Yeah.
He just does some crazy stuff. He's like, hey, have you heard about this guy in the news? He just like he kills or what he pitches basically himself.
Yeah.
As a serial killer that kills other serial killers or something.
Yeah.
That kills other killers. Or what?
Oh, no, it was it was Mafia, Yakuza.
Mafia and or Yakuza.
Yeah. Mafia
I think was his
Yakuza.
pitch. And then
I do remember that.
yeah, and then they ruled out Yakuza because it's like, oh, you got to do a translation and stuff like that. So
Yeah, very, very odd.
So
He also ends up pitching another one of the. So the main character Marty is writing a script called Seven Psychopaths, which is why it's self-insert. The Marty, it's there. Yeah, it's dumb, but it works.
yeah,
It's writer stuff. And Sam Rockwell's like, well, if you need psychopaths, you could do like real life psychopaths. Take the story of real life psychopaths and put them into this, and then gave like a fake story, about this dude whose his daughter was murdered, and then the murderer went to jail, found God, got out of jail, and then he just followed the killer around, like antagonizing him from a distance for years. To the point where,
I mean, in real life, that would be extremely unnerving.
Oh, absolutely.
To have someone just like know your every move and like your schedule and like just always be. Yeah, I think that would be an effective way to make someone feel extremely unsafe and like a little bit crazy.
Oh yeah, yeah. Anyways, the whole story ends up being Christopher Walken's character's life story. Before we see Christopher Walken come in, who's also a little like off his rocker.
Well, I mean, that story, so he's following the guy who killed his daughter.
Yeah.
And so apparently the guy is like, well, at least he won't be able to follow me to hell. So,
yeah.
And then Catholic religion beliefs is if you commit suicide, that's guaranteed number one way to guarantee you're going to hell.
Yeah.
So the guy's like, well, he's going crazy. He's like, I'm going to kill myself. This guy's definitely not going to do that.
And then he also
sure
slits
enough,
his throat while he's standing
in
outside.
front of him, like before, as this guy is dying. His last view of this guy is that he's cutting his own throat.
Yeah.
And so, that's very, maybe this is not for the kids,
Yeah, it's a little,
kids, but
trigger warning.
Yeah.
Don't be under the age of 18.
Yeah, it's not a family movie, but it is a good movie. So then, and that turns out to be, like you said, Christopher Walken's character.
Yeah, who wears a funky little ascot.
Yeah, and then and it's actually. So the thing is, what's his name? You said Billy's.
Yeah, Billy.
Billy is actually giving him most of the movie, anyways.
Yeah,
and how he's so like, oh, I'm not gonna let you. In the beginning, he's like, no, we're not gonna work on this together.
Yeah,
he literally gave him one of his psychopaths.
Yep,
and his second, technically, thematically. He just didn't know that was his other friend.
Mm-hmm.
And so I loved, what I did love though, was Christopher Walken's character and his wife. You could tell that they were just,
yeah. So my understanding of the whole like instigating incident for the movie, the inciting incident, That's what it's actually called. Is that Christopher Walken's wife, Hans's wife, has cancer and he can't afford the treatment, and so what he does is he put together this like underground criminal ring to steal dogs from the park and wait till people post a reward for them and then return them.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, it's a way to do it, I guess.
Yeah, it's like, oh, that's not okay.
Yeah,
but also you're like, oh, he loves his wife,
Yeah, that was another thing where Sybil was like, man, that's kind of fucked up, and I said, well, it's better than killing people.
That's true. And so, I mean,
it's not illegal, but it's not like
he's
dangerous.
Taking care of the dogs. He's not mistreating them or anything.
Yeah.
But
and then Billy
the
knowingly
who is like the truest psychopath. I think. I mean, I think there's some other ones. Yeah, he's the other guy with the rabbit.
Well, because he's two of them. So I mean,
well, yeah, two out of the seven, or six, I guess technically.
Yeah, he is a whole sixth of the psychopaths on his own.
Yeah. So. So yeah, he's trying to help out.
Yeah,
but he's also helping himself out.
Yeah,
because he's
the whole. Well, I mean,
he has a relationship with the gangster's girl. I don't know if they're married. Maybe his wife.
No, girlfriend. They said girlfriend.
So she's cheating on the gangster with Billy.
Yeah,
and he hears about this guy. He knows he's a garbage person.
Yeah.
So he's like, you know what? I'm gonna steal his dog.
Yep.
Which
we don't know about like. Super upfront,
right?
Because they tell you way later. He's like, "Oh no, I knew." You're like, "Oh, what?"
Yeah, because he was just like, because he's with the girl, and then he's kind of like, "Oh yeah, I stole his dog," and then she's like, "What? He's been going crazy, like and so, but that was what caused the first huge domino to fall with the gangster guy to start killing people, killed his dog, the dog walker. Poor girl, killed her. Then he went. I think his second was just straight after Hans's wife, right?
Yeah.
Because they found out, that it was him, and so they went straight over. She played it off good for a little bit, but then
she did.
But then she, I think she slipped up, and he picked up on that. So he's a smart guy. He's not a dumb gangster. Like, he's very smart, intuitive.
Yeah. Loves his dog. Look,
love his dog very much.
Anybody who's going to judge this man for going out against the world for his dog. That's like the whole plot to a very popular series of movies.
I mean, dude, how many deaths were laid at the feet of that dog's death?
Yeah.
In John Wick. I mean, like, seriously. And justified, too. I didn't feel bad for any of those guys.
I would do it.
Dude, if you've ever had a dog and love the dog, then you know.
That dog is your life.
Yeah. And so
I've said it many times. If my dog goes too soon, I'm going with her.
Yeah. Seriously. But yeah, so it's understandable, but he's also just a little bit, he kills Hans's wife.
Yeah.
Who I think is an incredible actress as well. I mean, I think she played the part really well. Great. I love them as a couple. And so that was, jumping back and forth here. So that was Hans and his wife's daughter that was killed by that guy.
Yeah.
Who went to prison. In the early story,
yes,
that we were revealed to as to one of the psychopaths, and so technically the first one that he had in chronological order, and so that was their daughter, and then so she gets killed by this guy, and then this is where it comes to Billy finding out. He tells his girlfriend, who is the mafia guy's girlfriend, that he stole the dog. Yeah. He gets a call that from Hans that, like, hey, his wife's dead. Or it was... he was bragging about it a little bit. He was like, yeah, I stole his dog. No, I'm not giving it back. I want him to be a decent person and give me money. Yeah. And she went outside to, I guess, go call him, and Billy got a call from Hans. And Hans was like, yeah, the dude came after my wife, killed her. And Billy was like, oh. Yeah, without much emotion, then he just goes and freaking shoots the girl in her stomach.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, and so that's
and gives the dude the address.
Yeah. Yeah. And he calls the cops and he's like, so that so he'll know quickly that, hey, your girl is dead now.
Yeah.
And so.
No, he didn't call the cops.
Didn't he call an ambulance?
No. She was on the phone with Woody Harrelson. And he just picked the phone up and said, hi, can you send an ambulance to this address?
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
And that's why they were chasing after him.
Yeah. Thanks for reminding me of that.
You're
I just
welcome.
watched it a few hours ago.
I did too.
I can't believe I forgot that.
too.
No, but yeah. And so
Like actual like psychopath moves.
Yeah, that's the first like real twist, which I thought was like which I thought was great. And then he just straight up, no emotion whatsoever, boom, just shoots her and he's like, your guy hurt my friend, and so sorry, but you're dead.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, eye for an eye type situation, which he's very much in eye for an eye type of guy.
In the trailer, it has that Gandhi said an eye for an eye would make the whole world blind, and then Billy goes, no.
He thinks about it.
No, there's going to be one guy with one eye left. All he's got to do is run away.
Hide in a bush, and then he's fine. Dude, so funny. Sam Rockwell is amazing. He's in so many great movies.
Yeah.
Dude, amazing. Amazing characters. That's what all these are. They're just amazing, interesting, unique characters.
Hans is like the goofiest of all of them.
I love him so much.
Marty sits there and is like, "What the fuck is happening?" All the time.
Yeah, and then I think maybe this was before that. I think we missed this part. So where Billy basically puts an ad out in the newspaper so that if psychopaths can come to Marty's house and he can interview him, which we get that other guy, the guy with the rabbit. He also has
and what's his name? His name is
so just like Hans though, like kind of mirrors Hans's
Zachariah.
Yeah, Zachariah and his wife. But they're actually going around killing people.
Yeah.
They're actually killing. What was their deal? They were just killing people that hurt people.
I thought that they were trying to make a thing where like they killed the Zodiac killer or something like that.
Oh, that what that was?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, I may have missed
that's
that.
That's what. It's good to have Sybil sitting there with me sometimes because she was like, "Oh, this is funny. They're going to go kill the Zodiac killer," and I was like, "What? How do you know that?" She goes, "Because the Zodiac killer had a bunny farm." I was like, "What?"
Dude, wow.
It's like, okay, cool.
Yeah,
I guess
that's a cool little thing that I didn't notice either. So
yeah, which is also like kind of silly.
Yeah,
that they just go kill the Zodiac killer.
Yeah, well, I think the thing that I think is funny is that she leaves him because he didn't help her.
Yeah,
and then later on he's like, I don't know what I was thinking. I should have helped her kill that
yeah.
That white guy.
Yeah, put my phone number at the end of your movie so that she can find me.
You know what? And that's such a great. I mean, to me, like it's about the small details, whether it's a movie or it's a show, like whatever it is. Like one of my favorite shows is Arrested Development. Have you seen that?
Mm-mm.
Dude, it's so good. They'll set up themes and jokes that they'll call back and reference like 2 seasons later.
Yeah,
it's so great,
yeah.
and dude, you would love the jokes. It's so. But anyways, this is one of those things where it happens. You're just like, oh, okay, just like his character is like, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
But then at the end of the movie, he actually called him. Like, hey, bro, just got out of a theater.
That was a really good part.
Yeah, I was like, notice there wasn't. You kind of broke your promise to me.
Yeah, he said you swore on your life. You know what that means, right? That means I'm coming to your house on Tuesday. And Colin Farrell goes, no, that's good.
Yeah,
I'm not doing anything on Tuesday, I don't think. Yeah. And guy was like, what? Hey, man, can I call you back to reschedule? That's how the movie ends.
Yeah. So it's the small details that like most people, I mean, how many movies have you seen where you feel like they're setting something up and it goes absolutely nowhere and it's never referenced again?
Yeah.
That's so frustrating. So the fact that there was that much attention to details, like it's one of those marks that makes me like just love a movie that much more. As someone who I have a pretty decent memory, so when I see something like that and I see that, oh my god, I mean, it's not like you have to have a good memory for that because you just remember the guy. It shows you, oh hey, it's all there, but it's just like, oh, that was something that was seemingly minor and insignificant, and it turned out like, hey, we're gonna pay that off.
All right.
Yeah. So I mean, it's more than just doing a callback. It explains Marty's character too. It shows him how much he's been through to where he's just like, all right, man, if it's my time to die, then all right, man, just come and get me. You know what I mean? He's been through some stuff.
Fine.
He's been through some. He's lost all his friends. All his friends are dead. And so he's just kind of like, yeah, whatever, man.
Which is another funny thing Woody Harrelson said. It's towards the end of the movie where they're about to go have the big shootout confrontation, and Marty's in the car with Woody Harrelson's character, and he's like, "Hey, man, stop looking so sad over there, all right? As I see it, you only have one friend dead. You're gonna have two once we get there, but you only have two. I've got 5. That's 3 more of my friends dead than your friends dead. And you don't see me looking so sad." Just like, come on, dude.
I mean, the math checks out.
And that does check out. It's like more than double.
But yeah, so I mean, it's just a crazy adventure, but there's just so many cool things that happen along the way as you meet these. I think one of the greatest things. So like early on, we're introduced to Martin's. One of his ideas is this Vietnamese soldier who's just dressed in a priest.
Yeah, who's a priest.
Yeah,
but not a priest, but
and
a priest.
He's just hell bent on revenge.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that he's trying to figure out this character throughout the movie.
Yeah, and he's like, I don't want to write it because it's the only way it ends is brutally.
Yeah, because I think his idea was that he was just gonna blow up a lot of people or something like that.
Yeah, he was getting revenge for his family who died during the Vietnam War.
Yeah.
By finding the people in the actual like platoon that took down his village.
Yeah. I mean, losing family is tough. You know what I mean? Like, but there are better ways to cope. Revenge is definitely something that's a very base and strong motivation. I mean, so many movies are based off of revenge. I think like revenge movies. You look at Taken and then Man on Fire,
Seven Psychopaths,
and
John Wick.
Yeah,
1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, dude. It's such a strong like what's the word I'm looking for? Just like a motivator or something that's used just a lot in movies. So revenge is a tough thing. So I think it's funny and interesting that he's also wrestling with this revenge idea in his own movie. So Marty's character is in a movie about making a movie about fictional, real characters that he knows that he didn't know that he knew in his own life. But they're all technically fictional characters. They're all in this movie that is a fictional story. But the only fictional character, I think I mentioned this to you earlier, is the Vietnamese guy, because this is not based on a real person that he knows. Yeah. But everything else is based off of real people. Yeah. Number 1 and 7 is his buddy Billy. Hans is one of them. And then, he does interact with the mafia guy and some of these other ones. Yeah. Rabbit Killer, and his wife. They take up 2 of the slots. Yeah. And
then he counts himself.
Yeah. So it's kind of like, I don't know. It's kind of like a meta thing. You know what I mean?
It is.
So
it is. It's weird and has its little clever moments in it too.
He's writing the movie, which is the movie that we're watching. Yeah. So it's interesting, but it works. It works. Yeah. Really well.
And the actual ending is that and very ironic for me to sit there because they spent 20 minutes trying to figure out what the ending of their movie is going to be about, and I made a whole movie that's sitting on your cabinet over there, titled "We Don't Have an Ending," about trying to figure out what the ending of their movie is. So that was a little weird for me specifically.
I'm sure it's very
common.
Yeah, I'm sure that's common. most movies.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure some people start with the ending. I mean, there's some people that are like that.
It
sure
generally
but
it generally starts off with like the idea for one specific scene,
right,
and then it goes from there. So
Yeah.
sometimes it's the ending, sometimes it's the very beginning, sometimes it's somewhere in the middle. But they're sitting there trying to figure out what the ending of this movie is going to be, and Marty has his own like vague idea, and Billy wants big, massive shootout, and Hans had the idea that the Vietnamese guy, in like pouring the gasoline and getting ready to burn down this building with all these people, wakes up to the gasoline being poured on himself in his Buddhist monk robes, about to set himself on fire, which was a very interesting actual way to like put a nice little bow on the whole story.
I would say genius way, because one of the things he talked about. So while they were, at some point the whole crew, Hans and Billy and Marty, they're running away from Woody Harrelson's character, Mafia guy. What's his name in the movie?
Charlie.
They're running away from Charlie. He's trying to find him and kill him because he knows that they got his dog, or they killed his dog, or whatever the case may be. At least killed his girlfriend. So
yeah,
they're out in the middle of nowhere in the desert, and they're all trying to help Marty with his movie idea. And Hans is recording. He's just talking to the recorder. So this is after. Basically, so they had a talk, and he mentioned he doesn't like dream sequences, etc.
Yeah.
But this is after Hans actually dies by one of the henchmen.
Yeah.
Because he just I think he wanted to. He knew what.
Oh yeah.
He looked at the cops. He was like, "Oh, this guy's gonna think I'm gonna pull out a gun," and he actually was pulling out the recorder. I think right. And so the henchman shoots him. He dies. And then Marty, when he goes down back into the town, he gets the recorder and he starts listening to it. And that's where we get into where he's sharing his idea for the Vietnamese guy, which is phenomenal. Like I cried. I think while I was watching, I cried. Good. So yeah, it's basically, I think it's the way that it would play out, or that it showed us, was it was like this monk's fever dream, right? This was his This was his revenge.
Like what would have happened?
Yeah, this was
if he did not choose a better path.
Well, I took it as like this is what he wanted. Like he was thinking through it. Like I just want to blow these people up and set them on fire, and that's what he, like in his head, like all his rage, and that's what it was building to that idea. Like that was his revenge dream, and then it comes to the point where he's actually just a monk in the street, and while he was pouring the gasoline on all these people in this area to light on fire, it was actually gasoline he had poured on himself. So in order to, to get rid of to stop the war, and I think that was a very powerful thing that he said was, his monk brother whispered into his ear and said, "Hey, stop, brother. Like your life is, may not stop this war, do anything." But then he says, "But it might."
Yeah,
but it might.
Yeah.
And I just had to
relook it up to remind myself why the Buddhist monks were setting themselves on fire.
Yeah,
it was in protest of the Vietnam War, which which really puts the character into this, like, he fought in the war for the Vietnamese, and could have set out on this big revenge path, but instead of choosing the revenge, he said, "Hey, this just needs to stop."
Yeah, and that could have been something that he did after the war, as he went into being a monk and trying to deal with all of his rage in a good way.
Yeah.
And then in a fever dream, like that could be just like all the rage that he had built up, as something like that. But now we see that all this rage that would have gone towards killing people is literally, he's like, this is a self-sacrifice. I've lost everything. I don't want other people to lose anything. So if I give my life, maybe it'll be enough to open the eyes of the people so that, hey, we don't have to hurt each other anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It's a weird kind of logic, but you kind of get it, right?
Yeah. Well, he's still one of the psychopaths. So obviously they're like, setting yourself on fire is a psychopath move.
Pretty crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think he had good motive. I mean, his
it made sense.
Motivation was in the right place.
It brought back to his history and what happened.
Yeah. So that was really good.
It also
I
ties
cried
in
watching that
really well to that same idea of Iron Man, which I watched last night.
Oh my god! Okay. I can't wait to hear this. Yeah, because I told him, I was like, "Hey man, don't forget to watch the movie." He's like, "Oh well, my girlfriend, she's upset that I haven't seen Iron Man."
It.
Well, I was.
She's upset I haven't seen most of the Marvel movies.
I'm a little bit upset at you too that you haven't, but
that's why she started it off.
Yeah, because
this is unacceptable.
Because we just watched Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, great movie. We're gonna do it.
I have seen all three of those.
Yeah,
I have seen all three Guardians movies.
I mean, might be one of the best trilogies in all of Marvel for a character.
I would dare say that it is the best trilogy in all of Marvel.
Yeah, so that was
not a bad one in the bunch.
Yeah, so that's something we watched recently, and then so he was saying, "Oh well,
that one's." Fucking crazy good.
Yes.
Go see Guardians 3.
Go see that too, yeah. Okay, so then she was like, hey, you need to watch all right, so here we are. Now he's gonna make an Iron Man connection. Let's see how this goes.
So Tony Stark made a bunch of weapons for war, right? And then he saw the effects on war firsthand, and he said, we're not doing that anymore. But instead of setting himself on fire, he built the Mark I.
He built an Iron Man too. And well, I mean, I it's one of those things where like you say he saw the effects of war, but I think he saw the effects of war. I think he just got shrapneled by his own weapons.
Yeah.
So he's kind of like, that's not cool.
Yeah.
It's not fun getting.
And the fact that both sides are getting his weapons regardless.
Yeah.
It's not like that.
Did not like
Which I agree. I would be pissed and be like, no, it's not how this works.
Yeah. So, but okay. So now we have an Iron Man reference in today's episode. Thank you, everybody. This is Full-Time Movie Fan. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment.
This is all part of Travis's long plan to get me to watch all of the Marvel movies.
Oh man, I love Marvel. We'll probably do some more here and there. But there's no limit. Like we kind of just want to watch all the movies, most of them. Maybe
all
there's
of
some
them that have ever existed.
No, not
one of these days. We're gonna do an episode on Birth of a Nation, and you're gonna love it.
Maybe. But anyways, like there's just a lot of cool things. I think the in a weird kind of sweet way. Like obviously Hans and his wife.
Oh yeah,
she doesn't.
It had a sweet little.
She's kind of like, look, you shouldn't kidnap dogs for money, but she's also like, I mean, they just seem like they've got a great marriage because she's like, she's still like, okay, that's my husband, I love him, his heart's in the right place,
not hurting anybody.
And to a more extreme degree, what's his name, the other guy. With the rabbit.
Zachariah.
Yeah, and his wife.
A little too close.
That's a more extreme, I think, example of that kind of marriage relationship, romantic, where there's a little bit. I mean, I guess their relationship was kind of built on like the revenge, just like killing bad guys for, hey, you put us through pain. Now we're gonna make sure that you can't put anybody else through pain by ending your life and stuff like that.
And then you have the real psychopath,
but that's still kind of sweet.
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, they love each other.
Then you have the real psychopath, who you could argue is married to the idea of this movie being about him.
Oh, what on earth could you mean by that? What are you alluding to, sir?
Billy set the whole thing up. Billy set the whole thing up to be about him.
Yeah,
from start to finish.
Yes, absolutely.
To the point where when Marty was like, "Hey, you're crazy. We're leaving. Like, I'm gonna leave you here." He blew up the car and called fucking Woody Harrelson and said, "If you can't find us, find the burning Subaru or the burning car.
Yeah.
That's where you'll find us." Which is nuts.
Yeah.
He knew. No weapons.
Yeah. I mean, he definitely wanted all the chaos. He wanted all the smoke.
And got very upset when he did not show up with a weapon.
Well, yeah, he was just very adamant that there needed to be a lot of guns and a lot of gore in this movie. So
Yeah. To the point where in his ending, he like sacrificed himself.
I know
To be a martyr.
in a cemetery.
Yeah.
It's just a big shootout.
Yeah. So, Sam Rockwell's character was nuts, for sure. The only actual psychopath there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the truest sense, I believe.
Yeah.
For sure. But I mean, even he had, it's one of those things where.
He hit it really well for a while.
Well, I mean, it's one of those things where, like, he's legitimately crazy, but he's a good friend.
Yeah, he just he had a little diary.
I know.
Said keep out on it. He said note to self, don't set the neighbor's flag on fire. And then he looks out the window and the flag's burnt.
Yeah, and he's like, try not to bother Marty.
Be a better friend.
Yeah. So he's a good friend. Like, I mean, as bad. I mean, don't ever express your love for somebody by killing someone else. But
yeah, maybe stop before that.
If you're gonna draw a line in the sand somewhere,
yeah.
I mean, it's
most
safe
people,
to say.
Honestly, Chick-fil-A's gone a long way for me.
Yeah.
If you're between like getting somebody some chicken or killing somebody, get the chicken.
Yeah, man, get him that
better option.
Give him the hack where you put the buffalo
sauce on the bag.
Yeah, on the macaroni and then stick that on the sandwich, or you can do the one with the
sauce in the bag.
Yeah, or you put it on the waffle fries and you put the chicken nuggets in, and then you put the buffalo and the macaroni.
You know more.
There's a lot of stuff.
I
I consume too much media. I see too much.
And I consume too much Chick-fil-A.
TikToks and shit. Yeah. But yeah, like there's still something redeemable about it. He's a good friend. Like, as crazy as it was, he was like, oh shoot. I mean, it was his fault too. So, but my friend's wife is dead. So he's like, well, you're dead now.
Yeah. That's
and I think he was trying to be a good friend.
Yeah,
to help his buddy, but like, okay, so we're saying that this is a movie about the director. Like,
yes.
So I wonder, is this like, how true to real life is this?
Story,
you know what I'm saying?
As true as Pillow Man, I'm sure, which is not very. No, that's not true. Pillow Man was based off of actual crimes that happened in.
So who knows how like true to life
okay,
this might
Martin?
actually be. Yeah, buddy. Hey, give us a call. Let us know you're okay.
Because 3 billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri was also based off of something that actually happened, not in Missouri, but in eastern Texas.
Let's. Buddy,
what's going on?
Let's go to Chick-fil-A. We'll get you all the hacks and make you feel better.
Yeah,
that macaroni and cheese is pretty dang good.
I'm a little concerned for him now. The more I'm thinking about it, because the cripple of Inishmaan was based off of the Irish War with the British. So everything that he's written that I know of. It's been about something that's actually happened.
Thoughts and prayers, buddy.
Thoughts and prayers.
the old Hollywood
hit the like button and subscribe so that Martin McDonagh doesn't have to go through any more trauma.
Yeah, if you care about Martin McDonagh, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. If you don't and you hate his guts and you want him to, no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Then just ignore it.
Share it with your friends. No,
no, but that's. It's just one of those things about life that life is tough in different ways. A lot of the, to be honest with you, I think a lot of the issues in our lives that we struggle with, we've created these issues ourselves. I think that's very evident in this story. So the thing about Marty is like, he doesn't have doesn't seem like he has an original idea. He just takes his best ideas from his friends.
Oh no!
Oh man, Martin, we're just getting more and more revelations.
Martin, are you okay?
But like, his friend basically gave him the whole story.
Yeah,
as far as the characters.
Well, he said, "Hey, I have this idea that I want to explore," and then he was like, "Great, I'm gonna make it happen."
Yeah. Well, I mean, we talked about this too, right? There's no new idea. Technically, I mean, you can repackage it. It could be very unique in the way you do it. But the themes are the same, right? Even Everything Everywhere All at Once, as unique as that was, I mean, we've seen these types of stories before to the core root of it. But anyways, he gets basically the whole movie from his friends, and their lives and their experiences and their ideas. You know,
he makes a movie out of it.
Yeah. So be thankful to the people who actually make your life in what it is. I guess I don't know.
And don't share profit.
Yeah.
That's the most important part. Make sure they're dead before you collect the first check.
Dang, don't say that to me, bro. I want you to stay on the podcast.
This podcast has been sponsored by, I don't know.
We're open to sponsors for sure if you
Yeah.
love movies. But anyways, we're getting a little bit off track. I think I mean what is it that you think just makes this a good movie? Like what in your opinion, what is the, like, I feel like this is the secret sauce of this thing that makes this just a good fun movie.
Christopher Walken.
I agree. Christopher Walken. I love Christopher Walken so much. Honestly,
Just watch the trailer if you haven't watched anything else, because the trailer really gives you most of Christopher Walken's great moments. Where he's where someone's pointing a gun at him and they go, "Put your hands up," and he goes, "No." You go, "But I have a gun." He goes, "But I don't want to."
Yeah. I don't care. Yeah, dude, he's so good. He's so calm, but you know that he's, I mean, he could wreck your life if he wanted to.
It's so silly.
So, dude, to be honest with you, I think I mean, this is just kind of a cliche thing to say. I think it's just a great story with very interesting characters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like all the characters except for maybe Marty are extremely interesting, and you know what I mean. Yeah. And the things going around him. So
it felt like a play.
Yeah, which makes sense because
he's a playwright.
But yeah, I mean the dialogue is good. But I think to be honest with you, Sam Rockwell, Woody Harrelson, and Christopher Walken, like their performances are so good, and you have all these crazy things going on, these crazy characters, and it's very entertaining. It's very funny. It's just something that's it's definitely a movie that I just don't feel like you would watch it and just be like, oh, I regret watching that. Like, I can't believe I was... Because there's plenty of movies that I've seen that I'm just like, I will never get that hour and a half, 2 hours back, or 3 hours, and depending on which movie you're watching.
Well, I don't ever really feel like that. I don't think I felt like that. I'm the kind of guy that bought opening day tickets to see the Emoji Movie in theaters.
You've watched that movie?
In theaters, day one.
Bro, you watched that movie, but you haven't... There's so many movies you haven't seen. We'll discuss this off the air here.
The Emoji Movie has its merits, all right.
Oh my god!
They had like a whole 20-minute scene instead of the Just Dance.
He saw the Emoji Movie and he hadn't seen Seven Psychopaths until today.
No. Anyways, I'm going to instigate a new thing that we do in the podcast at the end of every podcast. Now, you ready? Yeah, it's going to be called tentative name, the Michael Meter.
Oh yeah.
And I'm going to give this one a solid 7 out of 10.
Wow, I thought you said that we didn't do rankings. You know what? I'm going to give this, on my ranking scale, a solid 6.5 out of 7 psychopaths.
Yeah. That's fair.
I'll give it a solid 6.5 out of 7 psychopaths.
Yeah.
You know, it's definitely... So that's what I'm saying is, like, when I was thinking about movies after we watched 12 Angry Men, which, great recommendation by you. Yeah. Shame on me.
12 out of 10.
Yeah. Yeah. 12, I give
if
it 12
it has
Angry
a number
Men,
in its name.
I give it 12 Angry Men out of 10.
Yeah.
And so on my rank scale. But yeah, I was just like, oh, because I don't know, maybe that's just my brain. My brain just likes to connect weird little things, and I was like, well, how does this movie connect to this one?
You did.
So this one, I've done it the whole time.
Yeah,
we've done it the whole time.
True.
So because we did Multiverse of Madness, I was like, well, let's do Everything Everywhere All at Once, because it's, well, what's the next movie? What do? We did after Everything Everywhere All at Once, then we Shang-Chi because.
Because
Michelle Yeoh's in it.
Michelle Yeoh.
Yeah, and she's in Everything Everywhere All at Once, and then from there, I don't remember what we did. We've done it.
You let me choose.
Huh?
I think you let me choose, and then you've been jumping off of mine.
Yeah, we've been taking turns.
You know what we'll do next? Death Proof.
What is that?
That is a Tarantino movie.
Oh, is it? One that I haven't seen? Wow, okay. All right, hey. Next time we're going to do Death Proof. Unless I upload these in a crazy way, and then you're going to sound like a crazy idiot because it didn't. Because
it actually came out before.
Next time, and then it was actually, I uploaded Death Proof first. But
yeah, it has just for your own reference, Kurt Russell.
Oh, of course. He's been in a few Tarantino movies.
Zoe Bell.
I don't know her. I don't think.
Let me see if I can find some easy names that you'll know. Quentin Tarantino.
Oh,
he's in it.
I know that name.
Eli Roth.
Okay, yes.
No, I got nothing else. This was 2007. He made this movie.
Gotcha.
And it is stupid.
How does that connect to this one?
How does that connect to this one?
Yeah.
Well, we were talking about how long like dialogue-driven movies remind you of Quentin Tarantino.
Oh yes, yeah. That's one thing that.
You can do Death Proof.
So yeah, there's definitely certain things that like when I watch a movie that I have my own like criteria for like this is a good movie to me because and like one of the things like a few of them are like one of the things is like I like this movie because no matter if it's a fantasy movie or there's all kind of crazy stuff going on, I wasn't taken out of the movie by something that was jarring in there.
Yeah.
Like I've watched some bad movies, like the last Pacific Rim movie. Yeah, I know. That's one of those movies that when I tell you, I'm like, man, I'll never get that time back. There's just some things in there that I'm like, okay, this is a crazy giant robots fighting kaiju movie.
Yeah.
And there was something that I was like, that logically makes zero sense. And I think it was like them trying to attach a part of the machine's rocket arm to a piece of this giant kaiju and send it off into space or something. And I was like, that thing, there's not enough thrust in that arm to carry this freaking kaiju. And it was just like, so things that take me out of a movie, red flag. Poor, crappy dialogue that doesn't sound like real people talking. That's not a good movie. And so,
oh no.
so this definitely, the dialogue is good. And Quentin Tarantino's great at dialogue. I was gonna say, keeping the number thing going for a while, we could do Hateful Eight.
No, we gotta get away from them. We gotta get away.
There's so
from
many. Well, I want
so many numbers,
dude.
movies.
At some point, I want to do Lucky Number 11 though, because you've not
That's
seen
fine.
that one.
We can, but you have to do Death Proof first because there's one scene that I think about when I think about Death Proof, and I'm like, wow, okay, you have to experience it.
Okay.
It's a real good scene.
Well, there you go. So you've got to come back for that one, guys.
Watch it first.
Watch it first, please. Watch it, and then
know that it's coming.
Yeah, know that it's coming, and then we'll reconvene
Like a book club.
Yeah, exactly, dude. And then that's what we want. We want you guys to, if you like movies, part time, full time, share, with your friends, and if you have any other people that you like to watch movies with or that just love movies, we'd love for you to hear what your thoughts are on this movie, what you like, what you didn't like, which character's your favorite, even. I think mine is just Christopher Walken. I think his character is just super cool. I mean,
yeah, he wins.
The idea that he slit his own throat. Just to make this guy suffer one more time before he actually died. I was just like, insane. Wow. I love his relationship with his wife. I think he's just a cool character.
I agree.
He has one of my favorite lines in the movies, which I'm not going to say just because.
Editor, put it in. You'll know which one.
You'll know which one, yeah. It's just really good. Enjoyable movie, again. 6.5 out of 7 Psychopaths for me. Watch the movie. Tell us what you think. Like, subscribe, share, whatever.
Comment your favorite emoji from the Emoji Movie.
Oh, stop. No, don't.
And why is it Gene?
How about this? Comment as many angry emojis you are at this guy for not watching Iron Man 1. His first time seeing it was last night. So
I do want to take a little look.
So anyways, thanks for joining us. Thanks for hanging out. Hopefully you had a good time.
3.4 out of 10 is what the Emoji Movie has.
Oh my,
and a Metacritic score of 12 out of 100.
That's too many. That's too many good reviews. But we appreciate you hanging out with us. I hope your day is everything you dream to be and more. We'll see you next time.
And how.
Hey, full-time movie fans, thanks for hanging out with us. Hope you had a good time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment. We want to hang out and discuss the movie with you. So don't forget to do that below. Have a good one. I hope your day is everything you dreamed it being more.